So as they say, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. So now all of those tech employees that have been supporting their glorious leaders with their rapist mentalities are gonna find out what happens when the rapist mentalities get pointed towards them. So this is kind of interesting, and it is kind of also interesting because it's coming from Meta, right? The parent of Facebook. Meta to start capturing employee mouse movements, keystrokes for AI training data. Right, so I've been talking about this for a while. Poor little Mark Zuckerberg is lost in this modern world. He doesn't know where to go. All right, he created Facebook, he bought Instagram, he bought WhatsApp. He should have a nice, solid company that turns into a blue chip company that provides a nice dividend to investors. But that's not cool. That's not sexy. Dividends aren't sexy in the modern world. Profit? Actually giving profit to the owners of a company? Oh, hell no. Right? Instead, he's dumping money into all kinds of things, right? Dumping money into the metaverse, AR, VR, and that is failing. Dumping money into AI, which is doing whatever it's doing. Dumping money into humanoid robotics. Yeah, that's true, right? So anyways, he is desperately trying to find relevance in this modern world and failing quite significantly. So anyways, one of the big things in the whole AI world is this question of data. Right, they fetishize data. As I've talked about before with OpenAI honestly believes that AGI, artificial general intelligence, the way to AGI is simply compute, hardware resources, and data. Like that's all they need. Screw architecture. They'll just throw more GPUs at it. Anyways, right? Data. The problem is, right, we're now in 2026 and they basically gobbled up all the data the world has created over the past couple of thousand years, right? They've gone out, they've harvested the internet, they've harvested books and government documents and all that kind of stuff. And they're just trying to go out and get more and more data. So the question is where does that data come from? So now what Meta is looking at is what if they harvest the actual interactions their employees have with their computers? Can they suss out something valuable there? That's one of the things that Meta is getting into now is this whole like workplace AI management type stuff, right? They tried to buy Manu. I'm not really sure what's going on with that right now. China's trying to block it, but $2 billion they tried to buy this company, Chinese company called Manu, basically created like workplace agents, was growing incredibly quickly. They're trying to do other things like with like this workplace AI automation stuff. And so in order to do that, they need to get the data to be able to train their AIs so their little AI systems can do whatever it's got to do. But one of the big questions you run into in the AI world is basically, where do you get this training data? Well, here's the thing. What if you have like 70 to 80,000 employees? And what if you've already fired tens of thousands of the employees that you have, and you're threatening even more with layoffs? And you can come in and say, hey, we're going to start mining all of the interactions you have with your computers, and you can complain. You can complain. You know, it's 2026, and there's a lot of tech professionals that are on the job market and can't even get interviews. So if you want to complain about our rapist-in-chief CEO, you can do that. Nobody wants you to work at a company that makes you feel uncomfortable. And then you sit there and you're like, well, I don't want my kids having to sell their bungholes out behind the 7-Eleven. And so people are going to do what they're going to do. And so it's kind of interesting right now. I think that's the fascinating thing that I see with this is basically this mentality, right? This evil that the Meta employees have been dumping upon the world for 2 decades at this point in time now is being focused on them. And what the hell are they going to do? Again, the reality of the modern Silicon Valley world. They monopolize the cornerstones of modern civilization and then basically tell you, hey, if you don't like it, you don't have to be part of modern civilization. Like, wow, that's not how all of this was supposed to go. So this is curious, coming from Reuters. Meta to start capturing employee movements, keystrokes for AI training data. Um, Let's see. Meta is installing new tracking software on US-based employees' computers to capture mouse movements, clicks, and keystrokes for using in training its artificial intelligence models, part of a broad initiative to build AI agents that can perform work tasks autonomously, the company told staffers in internal memos seen by Reuters. So hey, remember like 15, 20 years ago when you had a good blue collar job and then basically your boss forced you to train your Chinese replacement? We're getting the 2026 version of that. You have a nice 6-figure tech job and now your rapist in chief is basically telling you you have to train your AI replacement or they'll just get rid of you. I do think this is this is a hell of a thing with how the modern world operates, and we'll be curious to see how this kind of thing goes into the future. The other thing I find interesting about this is I do wonder what the pushback is going to be in the technology world, in our industry, right? Because the whole idea of stories. And so back during COVID, back during the whole work from home movement, right, a lot of companies tried to install supervisory software onto employees' computers to verify that they were actually doing work, which more or less makes sense to me. Again, you got to be careful. You still have to be a real manager, right? Some people do work in their head. They're not necessarily tippy typing. So you don't want to lose your best employees or fire your best employees simply because they think about things more than people that just get an idea and start typing things into the computer, right? Typing, tracks people sitting there and thinking and pondering with a cup of coffee. That doesn't actually get tracked. And as I've talked about before, the real value of being a technology professional many times is you're just kind of sitting there with your cup of coffee, just staring at doors. You ever do that? You got your cup of coffee, and then you realize you've got a cup of coffee and you need that cup of coffee, but you also need to walk in the server room. Your next task is in the server room, and you can't bring your cup of coffee into the server room. So you just sit there, drinking your coffee, looking at the server room door, pondering the things you're going to do once you get into that server room. Right, and that's what you're doing. You're planning, you're gaming through different ideas, you're doing all of that. But to any normal person, all they see is the computer geek. Yeah, he just sits there drinking coffee and staring at doors. I don't understand. I don't think I could be a computer geek. I just don't think I could stare at doors as much as that guy does. Right, but that's the thing, right? You don't want to get rid of employees because they're staring at doors when really they're doing many more things. And so again, that's one of the things I argued with the whole work from home movement and supervising employees is I understood putting the software and tracking the employees to some degree, but again, you do have to be an actual manager. Too many managers are trying to hand their jobs over to AI just like everybody else is. But the fascinating thing is how much pushback I got from technology professionals. How dare you track me while I create software to track our customers? When I am writing software that is going to intimately violate the privacy of our users, it is abhorrent that you are going to try to track me doing that work. That is an invasion of privacy. You're like, what? Again, hey, y'all know what you do, right? I mean, you do actually grasp what you're doing. But anyways, one of the things that I thought was fascinating with this is how much pushback there was, like how much massive pushback there was in the tech world for being supervised using tools. And one of the things I wonder about is how much of that is story, right? If you have tools that are monitoring you for productivity or security purposes, is that mentally a worse thing than tools that are monitoring you for AI purposes? I don't know, be kind of interesting. The other thing too to be thinking about, like with privacy and all that, right? If I'm monitoring you for productivity or security purposes, I'm going to log data into a human readable format, right? Clicked on this at this timestamp, did this at that timestamp, did this at that timestamp, right? It's got to be all human readable. And so one of the things is when you're doing that, again, there's that whole privacy concern that comes up. One of the curious things, though, is if this is getting dumped into an AI system, again, how neural networks work, right? It's not human readable. Again, these things called tensors, three-dimensional arrays, I don't know, right? Again, it's really interesting. Like if you start playing with vector databases and you start dealing with embeddings, right? If you deal with a relational database, SQL, you can understand SQL, right? A 9-year-old can get the concept of SQL. Select columns from table where something is true, right? Again, you might have to spend 5 minutes teaching people SQL, but after that, they'll grasp what the hell is going on, right? If you look at embeddings, and the output that comes out, you'll definitely be able to understand. If you look at embeddings, what the hell is that? Again, it's a three-dimensional array. Like it's numbers in it's sets of sets. It's numbers within sets of sets. You just look. And so the curious thing from a privacy standpoint, if you're dumping data into something that's going to immediately be processed by AI and turn it for something that will be human readable into something that's absolutely not human readable, would there be less theoretical privacy restrictions based off of that? It's kind of an interesting thing to think about with this whole AI world. Again, we talk about AI and black box software, where we really have no idea what the hell goes on inside. Right? SQL, you get what's going on with SQL. Like vector databases and that kind of thing, many times you don't necessarily really understand what the hell's going on, right? Let's see here. The tool called Model Capability Initiative, MCI, will run on work-related apps and websites and will also take occasional snapshots of the content on employees' screens, according to one of the memos posted by staff AI research scientists on Tuesday in a channel for the company's model building Meta Superintelligence Labs team. The purpose, according to the memo, was to improve the company's AI models in areas where they struggle to replicate how humans interact with computers, like choosing from drop-down menus and using keyboard shortcuts. Quote, this is where all Meta employees can help our models get better simply by doing their daily work. Hey, look, we're not monitoring you. You are helping us. See how the words of the plantation owner are used on their workers? You should be passionate about helping the company become better. Really, that's how it works. Meta CTO Andrew Bosworth told employees in a separate memo shared on Monday that the company would step up internal data collection as part of those AI work efforts, now rebranded as Agent Transformation Accelerator. Quote, the vision we are building towards is one where our agents primarily do the work and our role is to direct, review, and help them improve. So let's see here. So I'm training the agent to do the work. So in the future, I'm not going to be doing the work. I'm going to be managing. Again, we go back to that whole question of exactly how many managers do you really need, which basically means you're training your AI replacements. Let's see here. The vision we are building towards is one where our agents primarily do the work and our role is to direct, review, and help them improve, Bosworth said. The aim, he added, was for agents to, quote, automatically see where we felt the need to intervene so they can be better next time. Bosworth did not explicitly spell out how those agents would be trained, but said Meta would be rigorous about, quote, building up data and evals for all the types of interactions we have as we go about our work. Stone said the data gathered via MCI would not be used for performance assessments or any other purpose besides model training, and that safeguards were in place to protect, quote, sensitive content without elaborating on which types of data would be excluded from collection. Quote, if we're building agents to help people complete everyday tasks using computers, our models need real examples of how people actually use them, things like mouse movements, clicking buttons, and navigating drop-down menus, said Stone. So yeah, there we go. So the Meta employees are now going to be supervised or watched over by artificial intelligence so that the artificial intelligence can be trained, so the artificial intelligence can then do their work But don't worry, you're not going to lose your job. You're just going to become an AI manager or something. Anyways, that's what's going on in the meta world. Does that make you feel more comfortable as a meta employee? Do you listen to that and say, oh, wow, yeah, that makes me feel real solid. I should definitely go out and get a mortgage right now. So yeah, I don't know. Well, I'll be curious to see where this goes in the future, right? If this was being done under a CEO that wasn't so batshit spastic, I think it could be very powerful, and I think it could move the ball forward. Again, whether you want the ball to be moved forward, that's a whole other question. But I think this could be a valuable thing, right? If this was under Nadella over at Microsoft, if this was under Amazon, or maybe even under Google, and I heard this, I do think that this would be interesting, and I think this could actually provide valuable functionality. Again, however you want to see it. The issue that I have with this is coming out from Meta, though. And Mark Zuckerberg literally seems to be fucking clueless. Try not to swear right now. Literally seems to be clueless. You know, whether you go from VR, you have AR, you do the super intelligence lab, you're buying humanoid robots, you're buying it honestly does not feel like Mark Zuckerberg knows what he wants to do when he grows up. So they're doing all of these it seems like they're doing all of these slapdash projects without really understanding what target they're going for. It's important in the technology world. Many times you have to pivot, and many times you have to pivot a lot. But pivoting presupposes that you had a target. You had one target. You figured out there's a reason that target is no longer viable for you, and so you switch to another target, right? That's what pivoting is. I feel like Mark Zuckerberg is just pirouetting. I just feel like he's spinning around in circles faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, and it's gonna end with, you know, his entire company vomiting on themselves. So anyways, I don't know. We'll see where this goes. The other thing I do have to say, again, with Meta, we talked about this with Synergy, is who the hell is going to trust their enterprise systems to this rapey piece of crap, right? I mean, literally Mark Zuckerberg is where I came up with the concept of the rapist mentality, right? Literally, like if you look at Meta, you look at Instagram, you know, comes out, you tell him you don't want to get, you know, he's like, I want your private data to be public. You say no, and you're able to lock it down. And then he modifies things. And then the platform gets modified so that things that you thought were private are no longer private, but you can still go into the settings to make them private. And then after a while, then they just do things so that your data isn't private anymore. Basically, he wants your data. He demands from you. And the idea is you're going to give him what he wants one way or the other. Now, the thing is, again, in the consumer world, most consumers, most users don't really understand what's going on. The value proposition for this stuff is very squirrely. Again, what is the real value proposition for things like privacy? There's a whole bunch of question marks there, the whole 9 yards. The problem is once you get into the corporate world, this crap matters, right? Trade secrets matter. Workflows matter. Security matters. So who the hell is gonna look at Mark Zuckerberg, literally the person I coined the term rapist mentality from, and say, yeah, I want any of his, you know, disgusting little fucking hands anywhere near my corporate infrastructure? And I think that's one of the bigger questions that I have with Meta is who would want that vile creature anywhere near their core infrastructure, right? It's easier to manipulate 14 little girls, right? Mark Zuckerberg seems to be a pro at manipulating girls. Thing is, when you get in the real business world, right, you got to actually get this stuff into the real corporate world. You're not dealing with 13-year-old, you know, tweens or whatever anymore. You're dealing with people that actually know what the hell is going on. And who wants any of that just nastiness in their environment? That's one of my big questions. So anyways, hey, Meta employees, how does it feel? Are you starting to understand why the rest of the country and world has been getting pissed off of you jackasses for the past decade? Oh, when the rapey little fingers start coming after you, It doesn't feel just a bit different. Anyways, I don't know. Put your thoughts down below. Do remember, if you like these episodes, you can get them on Spotify and now on iTunes Podcast. There's a link in the doobly-doo. And with that, see y'all later.